The rise and fall and rise of Rick and Morty. Honestly, I feel like Rick and Morty season 1 through 4 is literally perfect in my opinion, and then season 5 is complete horseshit. Season 6 is mid. Season 7 is actually really good. Season 8, I haven't really gotten into all that much. I remember when the first episode came out, I watched a little bit of it and I just kind of stopped, I think. And then season 9 came out as well recently, and I haven't really watched it, to be honest with you. I've kind of been more like I've been doing shit since the season came out. I've been like moving and fucking like trying to start this fucking YouTube shit and everything. So I just haven't watched it really. So I heard that it's good. I've heard a lot of people have been glazing it and stuff though, so I'm actually intrigued to see what this is about. So I mean, this video came out October 7th, this video came out in 2020. So I mean, this was what, 7 seasons in? So I mean, no spoilers or anything are gonna happen, so I'm chilling. Let's lock in.
Rick and Morty, known for being the show that is over-theorized and known for birthing the worst fans, has nevertheless solidified
the worst fans. Do they actually have the worst fans? Pick a rank. I feel like the only thing about like Rick and Morty fans, I would say, or just straight shit, is the fact that there's people that are like, you have to be intellectually smart to understand Rick and Morty. I don't. The plots aren't like that, like insanely intense to understand. It's really not. It's really just pretty simple. I feel like, I don't know.
Itself as an iconic animated show. However, like any show, it's had its incredible highs and astronomical lows. This video won't be a play-by-play of all episodes or seasons, but mainly touches on the standout episodes and the cool overarching themes. Let's take a look back at the rise and fall and potential rise again for Rick and Morty.
I honestly didn't like season 1, if I'm being honest with you. It's not that I didn't like it. It's things that I just saw the episode so many times where I just want to skip over it completely if I ever want to rewatch the show. That might be a bad take though. I don't know.
Season 1 was a good start, decent comedy and fun plots, but the show does a complete 180 in just the 6th episode, Rick Potion number 9. Morty gets Rick to make a love potion for his crush, which quickly backfires and
oh yeah, and then everyone starts falling in love with him and wants to fuck him because like it gets polluted by like the flu, and then they all start turning into like monsters and like morphing together and shit, and then they just abandon the world and just go to an alternate universe where they're dead. Hey, I remember the plots of Rick and Morty. I'm not gonna lie to you though, this shit is peak. This was a pretty good episode though.
Destroys the entire world. Rick finds a parallel timeline where he fixed the issue, but where he and Morty also die. Our Rick and Morty slip in and take their place, with Rick saying a line that encapsulates his entire character.
What about the reality we left behind? What about the reality where Hitler cured cancer, Morty? The answer is don't think about it.
Words cannot describe how shocked I was when I first saw this episode. For one, it happened 6 episodes after the show began. It changes the show from just having a boy and his grandpa going on wacky adventures akin to that of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, favorite movie, best movie ever made. But like yeah, the 6th episode, like they're like, oh yeah, but there's multiverses and we died in this one. We're just gonna take it that place. The fuck?
Introducing existentialism and the idea of what matters. I love how shocked Morty is, but Rick is so nonchalant, almost like he's done this countless times before. This works as incredible foreshadowing for when we find out about his backstory. Episode 10, Close Encounters of the Rick Kind, was the episode that introduced one of the most popular characters in the show, Evil Morty. This one
Evil Morty, bro. That dude has mad aura. I think they killed him. I think he might be dead now. I don't know. I've seen a bunch of random shit on TikTok. I don't know if he's dead or not. The whole Rick and Morty plot, the whole Evil Morty plot, I didn't really care about, to be honest with you. I thought it was whatever. But obviously now in the later seasons, yeah, I've been fucking with it pretty heavy. So this video actually makes me want to watch the newest season. I might actually watch them after this.
Character spawned heaps of fan theories, which a lot of people are convinced had the writers change up the narrative. The most popular fan theory is that our Morty isn't our Rick C-137's original grandson, but in fact, the evil Morty was his original Morty. The theory
that's not a theory anymore. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Rick C-137's original grandson, but in fact, the evil Morty was his original Morty.
Oh, his original Morty. No, I don't know if that's true. I know that Rick. How do I word this? Morty isn't Rick's original Morty. Morty is the Rick that killed Rick's wife. That just sounds so like just like what? But yeah, he's yeah, you get what I'm trying to say if you've watched the show. But yeah, Morty is the Rick that killed Rick's wife's Morty. And that's why he has him, because he's seeing if Morty will come back, if Rick will come back for him. It's such a tongue twister. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if evil Rick is Rick's actual Morty. It may be. Again, I haven't seen the 2 latest seasons. So.
The theory tracks, since evil Morty clearly had a vendetta against him personally, and also there's this line from Rick.
A cocky Morty can lead to some big problems. Can be a real bad thing for everybody.
Oh yeah? How's that?
I'll explain when you're older.
We do eventually find out if this is true or not, which I'll get to later. Overall, the first season was a phenomenal start to the show, not only having serious and compelling storylines that the fans loved, but also some incredible comedy.
What are you guys talking about?
Apparently nothing.
You asked him if Pluto's a planet, didn't you?
No! It's not.
Shut up, Rick.
Whoa!
I don't...
Yeah, I feel like, is it just me or did Jerry, like in the earlier seasons, like was more like personality, like he had more to him, but like now I feel like it's just like the punching bag. He's just dumb. They dumbified him, I feel like. Well, I feel like it's like all over the place with him. Sometimes he's just like not dumbified, and sometimes he is. I don't know.
Shoot nobody! They're just robots, Morty! It's okay to shoot them, they're robots! Shut up! Glenn's bleeding to death! Someone call his wife and children! They're not robots, Rick! It's a figure of speech, Morty! They're bureaucrats! I don't respect them!
Season 2 was just as good. One of the standout episodes is Total Recall. So that
This episode, wherever there's just a bunch of worms that are pretending to be people and characters. Yeah, and then there's just a bunch of characters like, you remember me? Yeah, we're here. And it's just a bunch of fake memories that go into their heads. And the entire time, you don't actually know if they're real or not, because it's like, maybe this is just a character they haven't introduced in the show yet that is actually part of it. It was a pretty fun episode. This is probably one of my favorites. And then there's a scene wherever Jerry makes out with Beth's husband, and they talk about Chewbacca.
the house is infested with these parasites that embed themselves in memories, making it impossible for people to tell who is a parasite or an actual member of the family. Such a simple yet genius idea for an episode.
It was a
Also,
great
it
episode.
features for me the funniest line in the entire show.
It's disgusting. Steve wasn't real? He's a real piece of shit.
While having a major cliffhanger for the show at the end, this season also never failed to get a laugh out of me.
That's what you used my universe for? To run your car?
Yeah, but don't
Yes.
flatter yourself.
This episode, bro. Oh, that was a good episode.
There's
It's like an endless loop of like they created like little universes or something to get energy from, and then inside that universe there's a mad scientist that's creating other ones, and it's just an ongoing thing.
always AAA, you fucker. Why don't we just use your portal gun? It's in the car, dip ass. Just trying to do right. Yeah, well, that's not really the theme of tonight's party. Heads up, rapists.
The third season started with Rick breaking out of prison and destroying the entire Galactic Federation and the Citadel. Then came the Pickle Rick incident. Usually I'd just skip this, but
The entire episode, I haven't even pointed out that I have a Rick and Morty thing. I got this from Dave and Buster's. So was it worth it? Absolutely not. I probably should have, like, realistically, you can't really get shit from Dave and Buster's.
considering this episode caused an uproar in the fan base, I have to briefly mention it. I mean, yeah, this one line
I'm Pickle Rick.
awoke something in some fans for some reason.
I'm Pickle Rick! What beloved doctor? I'm Pickle Rick!
Aside from what horrors this episode spawned with the fandom, the episode is actually good. It has over-the-top
The entire episode's literally just Morty and his family in therapy, and then Rick is just a fucking pickle, just like in the sewers, just killing like a fucking rat gang trying to get to the therapy place.
action, and to me, one of the funniest exchanges in the show.
I couldn't let you out even if you hadn't killed 2 men.
You should know, those men killed themselves.
And how is that?
They didn't let me out.
Solenia.
Episode 5 shows the aftermath of the Citadel with a kind of buddy cop plot with an alternate Rick and Morty.
I
The ending
remember
was awesome.
this one too, and they also have like a whole like Stand By Me reference, like Morty group. I don't know.
Too, showing the return of evil Morty. Unfortunately though, we wouldn't see him for a long time. The Toxic Rick episode was also fantastic, further
I got that skin in Fortnite, bitch.
developing Rick as a character. The season ends with Rick essentially losing his power in the family, and thus begins his downfall. Let's go to season 4. This is a season that I think is when the show started to go downhill.
I liked this season, but okay.
It had a good start with Edge of Tomorty, Rick Die, Rick Pete. The Old Man in the Seat was also
Old Man in the Sea, it's the entire episode, just a dude. The place where Rick goes to take a shit, there's a dude that he just sees there, and then he ruins his entire life. And then it turns out it's like a whole like lot. I don't remember. I gotta rewatch the show, bro.
really good as it showed Rick's depression as he tries to cling to everything in control from.
Universe that takes whatever it wants.
It had funny moments with a pretty sad ending. But then came the Dragon episode. I've rewatched every episode of Rick and Morty a few times, but this one,
The Dragon episode was in season 4. Whenever I'm just let it play. Wait, don't Rick and Morty fuck?
along with the Sperm episode, I have only ever seen once.
I think I don't know. The Sperm episode was definitely not in season 4.
Listen, I don't know whether it was the writers parodying some heinous garbage on the internet, but this episode was way too weird and left a sour taste in my mouth. The talking cat plot was amazing though. For the first time, it showed
The talking cat plot, where they just don't know why he talks. He just convinces Jared to do a bunch of shit.
that Rick actually cares for Jerry.
What in the... Oh, son of a bitch. Jerry, don't.
I want to see.
No, you do not.
Is the only episode where the side plot was better than the main plot. Now, I have to mention episode 6, Never Rick and Morty. The episode is pretty good, but man, there's such a thing as going too meta. That's another thing I need to mention. The first few times the writers broke the fourth wall in the show, it was funny, but now it's become the default. Almost every line has them referencing something out of the world and about standard writing tropes. The show community
That's very common for Rick and Morty now, I feel like.
had this as well, and it became exhausting there too. I'm guessing it's just one of Dan Harmon's go-to things to do, I guess.
Yeah, it's the whole idea of like breaking the fourth wall and being like super, what's the word? Relatable. Like they're relatable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look, we know the plot that we're doing. It's something with Family Guy. Family Guy does that all the time now. Like, oh, look at this stupid stuff that we're doing that everybody else does. Like, oh my God, but we're cool and we're different because we're being self-aware that we do it. It's just like, bro, like it gets to a point where it's just not funny at all.
Anyway, this episode went even more meta by basically commentating on how a story is written, even mentioning Harmon's famous story circle. The season's ending was good, that just showed how much of an asshole Rick is by not even remembering which daughter of his is the clone, digging himself into an even deeper grave. Let's go to season 5. I have the least to say about the season because to me, it is by far the weakest. This is when the show reached an all-time low.
It is the worst season of the entire show by a long.
As I mentioned before, this season featured the sperm episode titled Rick Dependent Spray. I mean, the whole plot was just disgusting and wacky in the worst way possible. So Morty inadvertently creates sperm monsters because he was horny.
I will say though, I did actually enjoy the first episode of the season whenever Rick keeps going. He goes to get like wine from these like goat people or whatever, and then it turns into like a whole thing where he accidentally kills them, and so then thousands of years go by every time he comes there, and it's just like this generation of family that turns into a whole army just waiting for him to come to kill him. That was peak. Everything else in that episode was horrible. That whole storyline in that episode was genuinely fucking good as shit.
And then there's the thing with the horse people that come in, and then the giant baby. Yeah, this is too much for me. I will say that while it had an atrocious start, the last 3 episodes hit. We finally get the backstory of Bird Person, and then we get the showdown of Evil Morty and Rick. The lore drop was insane in this episode. It showed that the fabricated backstory in season 3 episode 1 was true, and it shows how Rick became a psychopath. It is also revealed that Evil Morty isn't really evil. The guy's just sick of Rick and wants to piss off by exiting the central finite curve. The season ended spectacularly with fantastic visuals as Evil Morty left with a remix of his main theme playing in the background. It got me majorly excited for what's to come. Season 6 started off with another big lore bomb. Remember that theory of Evil Morty being our Rick's original Morty? Well, the writers actually reversed that entire theory. Rick Prime, the Rick who killed C-137's wife and daughter, is actually our Morty's original grandfather. Yeah, when I found that out, I lost my mind. All the hidden pieces of the show finally just came into place. This is exactly why Rick chose this universe to come to, and probably why he didn't give a shit about destroying it in Rick Potion number 9. The episode had good character development from Rick, and now that portal travel had been destroyed, I was excited to see how Rick would handle not being able to use the portal gun all the time. The rest of the season was just fine, not nearly as bad as season 5, but not nearly as good as seasons 2 or 3 of the show. I did enjoy the fact that Rick had become so low in the family hierarchy that he just secluded himself from anything and everyone to
Isn't this like one of the episodes where Morty gets a lightsaber and it just continuously goes downwards the entire time, and it like causes like a thing to fuck up the world or some shit because it goes to like the bottom of the world, and they're just trying to get it
on Rick Prime. The season ends with Rick and Morty reconciling and building up the next season to be all about hunting Rick Prime. As I stated before, I expected this arc to be much longer than Evil Morty's. I expected them to milk it, and the writers show that they are also aware of the possibility of overdoing certain plots.
You fixed my rift. It was all canonical and
I hated this episode with them, and I'm not gonna lie.
shit. We could have milked that thing for a whole season, or like a 3-episode arc at least.
But instead, they pulled a masterclass in subverting expectations. So before this season, Rick and Morty was in a bit of a slog phase. At this point, I was excited to see what would happen with Rick Prime, but fully expected to have a long and drawn out build up to it. Most of the episodes were fun watches. Even with the ridiculous plot of That's a Morty, that episode, while having a ridiculous concept, had really good visual storytelling that didn't need to go as deep as it did.
Oh my god, boy, that was actually a great episode. Isn't that the whole episode wherever they go to a world and that whenever somebody dies they turn into spaghetti, and stop the people from eating each other? They show this video about how like they show this dude's memories of his entire life and being like, yeah, you're eating this dude's insides.
Episode 5 was ridiculous. I've gone into how good this episode is in a previous video, check it out in the description below, but essentially what is supposed to be a season finale of an episode, even as big as a series finale, is casually dropped in the middle of the season. Evil Morty returns and teams up with our Rick to finally take down Rick Prime. The voice acting was top notch, the action was superb, and the ending was fantastic. fantastic.
He
I almost
just
felt
is
empty after watching
demoralized.
it. Rick's mission is done, so now where do we go from here? This is exactly what the writers wanted us to feel. Let's skip to the season finale, Fear No Mort. Hot take, this is my favorite episode of the
Oh my god. This is literally the best episode of the entire show. I love how he was just saying that too. But this is genuinely the best episode of the entire show. The episode wherever there's a black hole in the bathroom, and it's like fears and whatever, and like they go through a whole plot line, and at the end of it, it's revealed that Morty's biggest fear is that Rick wouldn't actually jump in the black hole with him, and that everything that had just happened wasn't even real. Like it was actually cinema, bro. I fucking love that episode, bro.
The entire show. In a previous video, I discussed how the Rick Prime episode was described by the writers as what the fans wanted, but this episode was what the fans needed. To summarize, it had massive character growth for Rick and even bigger character growth for Morty. It was a self-contained episode that didn't require big set pieces, crazy lore, or anything like that. Just an episode about what Morty is afraid of. Just that shot of Rick looking down at the fear hole, taking a minute before trusting his own grandson to not go down there, was one of the best scenes in the show. The cherry on top is him placing a photo of Morty on the billboard of who conquered the fear hole. Take a step back even. Rick keeps a photo of Morty in his wallet. He does find him irreplaceable. Honestly, if the show ended here, I'd be totally satisfied. I'm pretty sure all loose ends are tied up at this point. Rick Prime is dead, Ava Morty's ditched everyone, and Jerry and Rick have a good relationship now. What more is it that they could do? Well, the last time I said that, they gave me my favorite episode today. The show has had some really low lows, but some incredible highs too. When I thought it was all over, they pulled me back in. I'm confident that they can deliver some really good and high quality episodes in the next season. Rick and Morty knows how and when to subvert expectations, and sometimes going simpler is better than going crazy and over the top. That's what season 7 did spectacularly. I just hope the creators know when to call it a day before we end up with a show that's overstayed its welcome. Have it end on top. If you like this video, you also like the next video I'm working on, where I talk about the big 3 Cartoon Network shows: Adventure Time, Regular Show, and The Amazing World of Gumball. And
make sure to like this video. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to this dude. But yeah, like if they ever turn into fucking Family Guy, bro, that'd be so sad. I feel like they're already getting off track doing a spinoff show about the president, to be honest with you, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, like he said that he hopes that the show and thinks the show could do better with the later seasons, and this came out like almost 2 years ago. So, but yeah, they've definitely been doing good. They've been getting glazed. The latest season that came out, season 9, I'm pretty sure, that shit has been getting glazed. And I haven't seen it yet because I haven't really had the time. I mean, I have had the time, I just haven't really thought about seeing it. So, but yeah, fucking Rick and Morty is such a special show, bro. Like now they're starting to release seasons like back to back now. In the beginning, they were not doing that at all. Like they're releasing seasons like every 2 or 3 years. So I'm surprised. So hopefully it doesn't make the quality worse because it looks like it's been doing pretty good. So yeah, that was a good video. Let's move on to the next one.
She's an earthquake, coming under the door. She's a